Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. Friends, we had a lackluster session for the US markets, and even European markets were down about 0.5 to almost 1.25%, and what we are seeing is that for the past 4 to 5 sessions, after a big rally that we saw in the global markets, there is some amount of sluggishness that is being seen, and there were no major negative news flow, but a couple of negative data points. One is that the German business confidence index that came out was at a 5-year low level, and even the IMF has actually cut the world growth forecast. So there was a bit of a disappointment on that front. Talking about the Brent crude, it continues to hover around 110 odd levels. Talking about the flows, friends, we continue to see strong inflow by the FIs, and yesterday they were buyers to the tune of almost 1600 crore in the cash market. However, the domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 1156 crore. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through the F&O data points and the possible ideas that we could look at. Hi Shaival, good morning.
Good morning.
Though we are seeing some kind of consolidation or lack of big movement in the Nifty as such for the past 2 or 3 sessions, there is interesting action across many spots. So have you noted anything interesting as such in the F&O marketplace?
See, first of all, I'd like to draw your attention towards the sector-specific stocks. If you say power has a good, the power sector has a good news coming up, and it has also seen a good volume in past couple of trading sessions. We have been seeing that the Power Finance Corporation, Power Trading Corporation has been seeing a good move on the upside, and as well the banking stocks are also looking good, as a good activity in terms of open interest has been witnessed in the overall sector. Oil and gas sector is also looking good, although yes, they have taken us beating yesterday, but they are still pretty attractive. So one can look on the stocks like power, banking, oil and gas, as we have seen good amount of volume. The open interest is also pretty good, and the implied volatility has almost remained flat or say has increased marginal. So all this thing together has been indicating that yes, this stocks can be taken to play on the longer side.
Right, and in terms of Nifty, are there any important strikes around which we see open interest built up, or any major hurdles on the way up?
See, in spite of FIs being seller for second consecutive trade, we have seen long positions continue to accumulate in the market, and on higher side we have seen a new entrant coming in, that is 5800 October series call option and put option, and 5900 series 5900 call option of current series. So probably we've been seeing that our weekly VWAP is placed at 5600. So now that would act as a support for the market in the coming days. And on higher side, we have seen that 5700 call option stands with highest number of shares in open interest. So we feel that if there is lack of momentum or there is unsupportive global cues, market would hover around 5700. But if those levels are taken up, probably 5800 would act as a hurdle.
And any interesting ideas that you can share with us?
See, as a bias for the market is positive, we would continue to play on the on the buy side. On intraday basis, we recommend to buy IOC with support of 252 rupees 05 paisa, and on positional basis, from the viewpoint of expiry, one can buy IDBI call option with stop loss of 1 rupees and target of 3 rupees 50 paisa and 5 rupees. As well, one can buy Nifty 5700 call option with stop loss of 25 rupees and target of 55 and 65.
Right, Shaival, thanks a lot for that update.
Thank you.
Friends, back home, yesterday was also lackluster day for the index as such, and we saw a cut of about 20-25 points odd on the Nifty and about 80 odd points on the Sensex, but we continue to see good amount of interest in the certain pockets of mid-cap stocks in particular, and the prominent ones where we are seeing action are the infra space, where there is an expectation built up because of the way the government has gone about taking important steps, and particularly the financial restructuring package for the power sector as a whole. Also, we are seeing good amount of action in the second tier banks, where because of the run up that we've seen in the private sector banks and the top line PSU banking space, the entire momentum is now shifting to the second tier banks. So that is where the action is. Also, we are seeing a lot of other sectors in the mid cap space gaining ground, and this is happening on the back of good volume as well. talking about the companies in the news today. First of all, friends, there is going to be an important block deal today in Kane, India, wherein the Kane UK is likely to offload almost 15.3 crore shares, and the range that is being talked about is about 317.9 to about 328.3. So what you could do is that you try and put in a buy order somewhere in the range of about 318 to about 321. So once the block deal happens and there is going to be a spike of about, let's say, 5 to 10 rupees, so one can participate in this particular deal through putting a buy order. Remember that you have to put in this buy order in the cash market segment, both on BSE and NSE, well before the market opens, to be able to participate in this particular transaction. Also, friends, as I have already said, the government has actually continued with its momentum on the reforms front, and we are seeing that the entire restructuring has been announced, wherein the highlights are that the 50% of the loans of SEB would be taken up by the state government, and the balance 50% would be revised by the lenders. Also, friends, the state government is supposed to revise the power tariff, because in order to be able to make this whole exercise effective, it's important that the states are allowing the state electricity boards to revise the power tariff. Otherwise, this whole problem doesn't get solved. And the important beneficiaries of this exercise are companies like REC, PFC, also something like Power Trading Corporation, which has a lot of dues from the State Electricity Board, or something like Lanco, and the entire sector like BHEL, BGR Energy, and even some of the PSU banks which have exposure to the power sector like Allahabad Bank, Canara Bank, so on and so forth. So this entire space will remain in action. Friends, Maruti has indicated that they are going to take the price hike in their models post the price hike that we have seen by Honda. So this would be a positive for Maruti. One can go long with a stop loss of 1327 and a target of 1395 to 1420. And in case of GSK Consumer Healthcare, they have won a case for the Horlicks Nutribig biscuits, which is a positive for them. So one can go long with a stop loss of 2907 and a target of about 3056 to 3112. In case of Oil India, there are reports that they are at an advanced stage to acquire shale gas assets, and one can go long there with a stop loss of 465 and a target of about 489 to 498. In case of Medcap company Mangalore Chemicals, there are reports that there are two buyers for acquiring 30% stake held by Vijay Mallya. As we all know that there is going to be some kind of a corporate action in the entire UB group, right from United Spirits to UB Holding to the Mangalore Chemical, and the valuation is put somewhere around $100 million, which is not substantially higher than the current market cap of Mangalore Chemical, but we believe that there is going to be some good price action today. One can go long there with a stop loss of 42.80 and a target of about 45 to 46. And in case of SESA Goa, there are negative news, and one of the Chinese power equipment manufacturer has filed a case against them, against Vedanta Aluminium, which in turn would reflect to SESA Goa. So one can go short on SESA Goa with a stop loss of 185 and a target of about 175 to 171. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a nice trading session and see you tomorrow.